Hey people, what's going on? So I'm reading some of my responses here to my It Just Gets Better, aka Come Out of the Fucking Closet video. You know, I'm surprised at the results. I got one guy who's pretty positive and inspiring about how he finally told his grandma after X number of years, and she's a Baptist, so they had to talk about the Bible and everything. I don't know if he bothered to tell her that Jesus was kind of gay, and maybe you should read the Apocrypha. You might not have known that one, but look into it, people. Then I got this other guy here who's talking about in some states, apparently it's still legal to like discriminate against gay people at work, which just blows my fucking mind. I haven't bothered to look up the statutes. Maybe he's right. Here's the thing, though, and I'm going to come at this from two angles. One, if you live in Bumble Scum fucking Ohio, where the entire town has like a church and a gas station, and that's it, maybe you need to worry less about the fact that you're gay and more about the fact that you live in Bumble Scum fucking nowhere. Move to the city, man. Go somewhere that actually has economic opportunities and people who think differently. The city, living in the city is an experience everyone needs to have, but especially for you, a gay kid living in some horrible little church town, get the fuck out of there, man. Step number one in the new you is leave that town. But I've also got people, and I've seen this pop up on Facebook a little bit, and some people have been like attacking my production guy over it. This whole thing like, I'm not sensitive enough to gay people who can't come out of the closet. The reason I don't feel like I have to be super fucking sensitive about everything is because I know that gay people are just fucking people. It's all you super liberal fucking wannabes that think I'm being insensitive. And you know why you think that? Because you don't know any gay people, you don't know any black people, you don't know any Jewish people. All you know is other white Anglo-Saxon fucking Protestants. And the way you tell yourself that you're being diverse is to just blatantly accept anything from anyone who's from a culture you don't fucking understand. That's retarded, alright? I'll get to that in a minute. But I don't need to be fucking sensitive about jack shit. I was just reading a book by a chick named Alice Albania who went and she traveled through India and Pakistan and Afghanistan and even into China, all post 9/11. There are entire towns in Taliban-controlled Afghanistan that are widely known as gay hangouts and meetups. There are gay soldiers in the Taliban who put pink hearts on their AK-47s to let all the other men in the division know they might want to fuck. That is fact. If someone in the Taliban can be open about their sexuality, there is no reason anyone in the United States of America should not. Stop being such a whiny little bitch and just be yourself, okay? And I swear to God, it's usually sheltered little white kids who are the worst because they're like waiting for a chance to be discriminated against for something. Like the kids who decide, I'm not Christian anymore, I'm going to be a Wiccan, and 2 weeks later you hear all their fucking discrimination stories. You kids haven't been discriminated against. You need to stop feeling guilty for the fact that you're not being discriminated against and start being a real human being, because a lot of those who feel like they're being discriminated against are really just using that as a fucking excuse to be terrible people. Like this asshole that I met last fucking night. So this fucking guy, alright, kind of weasels himself into my apartment. My roommate, who happens to be a very compassionate individual, kind of sort of knew this fucker who ended up without a place to stay. This fucker comes over here. Bear in mind, he got kicked out of his last house, got kicked out of another house for being a binge-drinking, thieving alcoholic. And then he's living with his parents. And for some fucking reason, he ends up over here. Like, not even that far into the night, they're like spending the night together, a couple of gay gentlemen. They're asleep, and dude wakes up in the middle of the night to sneak into my fucking liquor cabinet and steal my tequila. Stealing, alright? My roommate, of course, caught him and actually, like, slapped the shit out of him. Then gives him a second chance to stay the night. Just takes the tequila away like, dude, you're not stealing from my roommate. hides it somewhere, then finds the dude trying to get to it again like half an hour later, and kicks his ass out of our fucking apartment and makes him walk home, and he's bitching the whole time like, you don't understand what it's like to be me, you don't know how hard my life is. Now, what do you think makes a person act like that? Fucking seriously. Coming over, begging to be able to stay the night on someone's couch, and then trying to steal from them like a little fucking animal, and insisting that it was their fault the whole time for not understanding. What do you think creates a human being like that? Because that's a piece of shit. It really is. My personal theory on the matter is that he's been hiding from himself for so long, trying to pretend that he's not who he is, drinking himself into submission every time he thinks about telling the truth, hiding behind that, probably smoking pot until he can't fucking think straight every goddamn day of his life. And after all of that lying to himself and hiding from himself, now he's a crippled alcoholic who has seizures if he can't get to booze. That is a result of not having any self-confidence, not having any self-esteem, and thinking that the way for you to have a good life is through a lie. You know, fuck people like that, okay? That is the sort of piece of shit that thinks it's okay to lie to everyone he knows and tell them he's straight. He also thinks it's okay to lie and steal from people. All right? It's a whole complex that gets worked up in this. So if you're in the closet and you're really afraid of telling the truth about that, you need to be really careful not to let that bleed over into other parts of your life. Just come out already, man. Be yourself. Deal with the consequences of being yourself. You think there aren't consequences to me getting on the internet and making these fucking videos? I deal with them because this is who I am. So grow the fuck up and stop pretending that you're a victim. Stop pretending that people owe you all of this understanding for how hard you think your fucking life is. And just be an adult.